Before there were kings, before there were kingdoms, before there was anything we would call Korea, there was heaven. And in heaven, there was a God who looked down at the earth and dreamed of something more. This is the story of Dangun, the grandson of the heavens, the first king of Korea, and the myth that gave birth to a civilization that has endured for 5,000 years. This is where it all began. In the beginning, there was Hwanin, the Lord of Heaven. He ruled the celestial realm with wisdom and grace, watching over the universe from his throne above the clouds. Hwanin had a son named Hwanung, and Hwanung was restless. While the other spirits of heaven were content in their paradise, Hwanung kept gazing downward, toward the earth. The mortal world was wild and untamed. Mountains rose like jagged teeth from the land. Rivers carved their paths through ancient forests. Animals roamed freely, and the wind howled across open plains. "Father," he said, "let me go down. Let me help them. Let me bring order to that world." Hwanin looked at his son for a long moment, and so the Lord of Heaven gave his blessing. Hwanin gave his son 3 heavenly seals, symbols of divine authority, and sent him down to earth with 3,000 followers. They were not warriors. They were teachers, healers, and guardians. Spirits of wind, rain, and cloud accompanied Hwanung as he descended through the sky. They landed on the peak of Taebaek mountain, a sacred place where heaven and earth were closest. Hwanung established a sacred city beneath a great sandalwood tree. He called it Shinshi, the city of God, and from there he began to build something extraordinary. He appointed the Earl of Wind to manage the weather, the Master of Rain to nourish the crops, the Master of Clouds to guide the seasons. He created laws for the people. He taught them agriculture, medicine, and morality. One day, 2 creatures came to Hwanung with an extraordinary request: a bear and a tiger. They had watched the humans living under Hwanung's guidance, and they were filled with longing. They knelt before Hwanung and begged, "We want to become human. Please, great Lord, transform us." "Very well," Hwanung said. "I will give you a chance." He handed each of them 20 cloves of garlic and a bundle of sacred mugwort. "Eat only these. Go into a dark cave. Stay there for 100 days. If you can endure this trial, you will be reborn as humans." The bear and the tiger took the garlic and mugwort and entered the cave together. The darkness swallowed them whole. The first days were manageable. The garlic was bitter and burned their mouths. The mugwort was tough and tasteless. But they were determined. They sat side by side in the pitch-black cave. After 10 days, the hunger became unbearable. The tiger paced back and forth, growling and clawing at the cave walls. Every instinct in its body screamed to run, to hunt, to feel the sun on its fur. "This is madness," the tiger snarled. "I am a predator. I was born to run through forests and hunt under open skies. I will not waste away in this darkness, eating weeds." After 21 days, the tiger could take no more. With a roar that echoed through the mountain, the tiger burst out of the cave and disappeared into the forest. It never returned. The bear was alone now, alone in the dark, with nothing but garlic, mugwort, and her dream of becoming human. The days stretched into weeks. The weeks felt like years. Her body ached, but she did not leave. She endured. On the 100th day, something miraculous happened. The bear felt her body begin to change. Her thick fur softened and disappeared. Her claws retracted into delicate fingers. Her heavy frame reshaped into the graceful form of a beautiful woman. She stepped out of the cave and into the sunlight for the first time in over 3 months. The world was blinding, beautiful, Overwhelming, she looked down at her hands, human hands, and wept with joy. Hwanin named her Unyo, the bear woman. She had earned her humanity through patience, sacrifice, and an unbreakable will. But Unyo's heart was not yet full. She was human, yes, but she was alone. She prayed beneath the great sandalwood tree every day, asking for a partner, someone to share her new life with. Hwanin heard her prayers, and something stirred in his heart. He had watched her endure what the tiger could not. He had seen her strength, her patience, her quiet determination, and he realized that he loved her. Hwanin took Unyo as his wife, the son of heaven and the woman who had once been a bear. Together they represented the union of the divine and the earthly. And from this union, a child was born. They named him Dangun Wangyum. From the moment of his birth, there was something extraordinary about him. He had the strength of the bear, the wisdom of the heavens, and a spirit that burned brighter than any fire. He grew quickly, and as he grew, so did his understanding of both the celestial and mortal worlds. He could speak to the wind and read the patterns of the stars. He understood the language of animals and the hearts of men. When Dangun came of age, he descended from Taebaek mountain and traveled south. He saw a land of extraordinary beauty, rolling mountains, fertile valleys, coastlines that stretched for thousands of miles. And he saw people scattered across this land, tribes without unity, families without protection, communities without law. Dangun chose a place called Pyongyang, and there he established the first kingdom. He named it Joseon, the land of the morning calm. The year was 2333 BC. He ruled not through force, but through wisdom. He established laws that were fair and just. He taught the people to live in harmony with each other and with nature. He built the foundation of a civilization that would endure wars, invasions, dynasties, and centuries, and still stand today. The principles he established became the bedrock of Korean identity. According to legend, Dangun ruled for over 1,500 years. When his time finally came, he did not die. He retreated to Taebaek mountain and transformed into a mountain god, watching over the Korean people for eternity. Every year, on October 3rd, South Korea celebrates Gaecheonjeol, National Foundation Day, the day the heavens opened and Hwanin descended to earth. The story of Dangun teaches us many things: that patience conquers where strength fails, the bear succeeded where the tiger did not. That transformation requires sacrifice. There are no shortcuts to becoming who you are meant to be. That leadership is not about power, but about wisdom and compassion. And that even the greatest civilizations begin with a single act of faith, a God who looked at the wild earth and said, "I can make something beautiful here." 5,000 years later, the children of Dangun still remember. They remember the bear who endured the darkness, the God who descended from heaven, and the king who built a nation from nothing but wisdom and love. This is the myth of Dangun, the founding story of Korea, and the proof that the greatest things in this world are born not from power, but from patience. If this story moved you, subscribe for more tales from Korean history and mythology.